Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review. This time I'll bring the Guupaa Kenjuu Deluxe Gangan Hand from Kamen Rider Ghost. This is the main weapon of Kamen Rider Specter that can change between two modes and interact with the Ghost Driver for special attacks. This set includes two things, the Gangan's hand and the Specter Ghost icon. So let's get started. So to start us off, let's take a look at the Gangan hand in person. So, you can see that this is styled in a similar manner to the other Ghost series gear, with that same style of intricate detail, molded on bolts, and orange for the grips. But instead of the base color being black, instead it uses a nice metallic blue. With a lot of silver accents, you can see a lot of details, such as knuckles, little gaps for fingers, and even a thumb on the side. Right here by the trigger, you can see Kamen Rider Specter symbol, which is almost the same as Kamen Rider Ghost, but instead of one wisp flame, it has two. On the back, you can see the on-off switch and the button to move the lever. There's a speaker back here, and a rail to attach a Ghost gadget. You also have a little bit of clear plastic here, which acts as sort of a gripping handle, as well as a little bit more silver as an extra down here. Have the battery cover here. It takes two AAA batteries. Next we'll take a look at the included Specter Ghost icon. Like the Aura Ghost icon, this is molded in black plastic, but it does have some subtle differences. Taking a look at it on its own, you can see on the top, of course, it has a special sticker with the S and Spectre at the bottom, as well as Spectre's face symbol. And starting from the first panel, just compare the two and you'll notice a subtle difference in that the Aura Ghost icon and all of Ghost's icons use a black color for the default eye mode, but for Specter it has a bluish color to it. Then you have the numbering, in this case being a letter S. Then the symbol that makes his face, and the special attack symbol, which is, like the Aura Ghost icon, a kick. Now we can bring in the Ghost Driver and test it out. So the first thing you'll immediately notice is that the standby sound, or the standby tune, is different from that of Ghost. And it is a similar phrase, switching from Batshiri Mina to Batshiri Mirou, with Mirou being a just more forceful or more masculine version of Mina, and both phrases kind of mean watch closely or watch carefully. And additionally, the transformation phrase is also similar to that of Ore Damashi, but with a little bit of variation. So then we'll do the Omega Drive.
Kaigan! Specter! Omega Drive!
And the Omedama. Next we'll take a look at the Gangan enhanced features. To start off, we'll switch it on right here, and unlike the Gangan Saber, this has no lights, so you'll just hear a sound when it's switched on, and it'll announce its name. Just doing that again. So, to start off, we have the basic mode, which is rod mode. So, pressing the trigger, you'll get a basic attack sound. And on the fourth press of the trigger, you get a stronger attack sound, and it'll repeat this pattern. You can bring in the Ghost Driver, and hold this part near the eye for eye contact. And you get the finisher attack for rod mode, the Omega Smash. So then to switch modes, hold down this button on the lever and slide it forward. That changes it to Ju mode, with Ju just being Japanese for gun, but I guess basically they didn't want to share a name with one of the modes of the Gangan Saber. So here, instead of being a rod, it takes the form of a rifle. You have the fingers bent forward to reveal this gun barrel. It also kind of looks like what would happen if you just kind of closed your hand to make a finger gun. So here, pressing the trigger will make one of two alternating shot sounds. Or rather, two alternating shooting sounds. And unlike rod mode, there's no bonus sounds for repeating the cycle. Then we'll do eye contact again. And we get Ju mode's finisher attack, Omega Spark. Then you can switch it back using the same method. And it'll say Nandanen. And for this, it does need a little bit of an explanation, as this is kind of a reference to a Japanese style of comedy called manzai, which involves a funny guy and a straight man, where the funny guy will often say some kind of ridiculous thing, and it kind of is a back and forth conversation of sorts. And at the end, when the funny guy says some kind of ridiculous remark, the straight guy will kind of have his hand up like this and say Nandanen, meaning why is that? So it's a very kind of off-color kind of thing, but it is amusing, especially for those who know what it's about. And that'll happen whenever you switch it from Ju mode back to rod mode. You also kind of see how the whole thing works. By pushing this in, you'll notice that there's this little lever here which gets pushed in. It turns little gears that bring the hand inward, and pulling it back returns it back to normal. Now the interesting thing here is that it's not exactly a hard lock, as there is a little bit of a spring mechanism in here as well, as if you can see, you can actually pull it in like so, and it'll spring back outwards. And that's actually pretty good, as it means that you're less likely to break it from perhaps just kind of moving it around, or perhaps accidentally knocking it against something. And that also works in Ju mode as well. And lastly, just for a little size comparison, here is the Gangan Saber in blade mode. And you can kind of see that They're around the same size, but obviously because of the hand and fingers, the Gangan hand does edge out the Gangan saber by a bit, but they are still pretty close. So if you have the Gangan saber, you can kind of tell or kind of get an idea of how big this thing is. Though naturally it is expected that this would be somewhat smaller than the one in the show, since it is a toy for kids. And there you have it. Overall, the Gangan hand isn't as dynamic as the Gangan saber, since it doesn't have that complexity of taking apart and moving it to different places or kind of switching it around for the mode changes, but instead uses a simple kind of pump action mechanism to switch the modes. And it is pretty clever that it's called a Kenjuu, which is Japanese for handgun. And in this case, it literally goes from a hand to a gun, which is quite a nice wordplay, and it's definitely continuing that trend that Go seems to have of clever wordplay. It also seems like the whole action of having a hand that goes from open to closed or closed to open might be a little bit of a shout out to Master Akiva's Doga hammer, which had a gimmick where you could open up the hand to reveal an eye on the inside. So it still is continuing that trend of these having references to past rider gear and past rider gimmicks. And of course it also comes with the Specter Ghost icon, which gives you a nice transformation sound, and it gives you that new standby sound that's different from the other ones released so far. Additionally, there is a Ghost gadget for Kamen Rider Specter, so if you get that, you can also get this to go along with it, or rather vice versa. But I definitely only recommend getting this if you have the Ghost driver, since without it you can't properly use the Ghost icon, and you won't be able to get these special attacks, at least not the proper way, though you could cheat with a magnet. Still, if you're a fan of Kamen Rider Specter and you have a Ghost driver, this is a toy I can definitely recommend. So next time, I'll be doing a probably long-awaited review of the deluxe Yokai Watch U prototype. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please leave a like, comment, or share it. You can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/KRX50. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.